Namaste, welcome to the weekly Monday Angel Message with Rachel Scoltock. So I'm going to get started today with some angel cards for you and give you the subject of today's message, which is about getting into your power. This is a full moon today, and a full moon is all about magnifying the energy. So it doesn't mean that you can't make changes at any other time of the month or any other time of the year, but when there's a full moon, you are much more magnified. Everything that you're thinking, that you're feeling, that you're putting out there, that you're tuned into is going to be more magnified, and so you can take advantage of that bigger power that's around and make it auspicious for you. So it's an opportunity for us all to step more fully into our true power, into the power that comes from God, the power that comes from the divine, and the power that's within us that means the absolute actualization, the fulfillment of your full self, the fulfillment of what you want to achieve in this lifetime, the things that you want to do today, being fulfilled to the point where you are offering the best side of you, your best, the highest good, the highest of yourself. Hi, Lucy. Thanks everyone for joining. Hi, Lucy from Chicago, and it's still Sunday there, I know. And Jess and Anita, Patricia, Liz, and hi, Anita. Hi, Leanne. Hi, Joy. Good morning to you. Good afternoon here. We're all in different spots of the world. So welcome to the Monday message. So today is full moon in Sagittarius. So we've got some really powerful energy coming through. Someone said to me yesterday that they were feeling a little bit anxious about the energy, like what is it going to bring? And that's because it's a big energy, it's a big build-up, and so it's an opportunity for you to make some changes if you want to make some changes, to add extra energy to your manifestations, to add extra energy to your intentions for healing, and to also, if you want to keep on, say you're in a negative energy, say someone's upset you or you're going through something in your mind and your emotions, it's also the opportunity for that to be magnified too. So when you think about the energy that you are tuned into at any moment over the next 24, 48, 78, 72 hours, where the full moon's influence is much stronger, those are the energies that will be magnified for you. And my work is all about my program, which is Rich Radiant Angel, hi Ida, is all about getting women into their power, into their true power, not the sort of power that we think of as authoritarian or controlling or negative in any way. This is the power that comes from the divine, so that you are then magnetic. You become a magnetic force on a higher frequency, so that you draw to you the things that you want, the support that you want, the synchronicities that you want, the abundance, the money, the love that you want becomes magnified to you. Don't go chasing after it. And the issues that have held you back, which are at a lower frequency, that's that feeling when you wake up in the morning sometimes, or you go through something and you feel yourself going back down into the well, into the place where maybe you never felt so good about yourself growing up, or maybe where there's a conflict with a family member that makes you feel crazy, or where you're doubting your abilities and you're looking at all the things that are wrong and lacking and missing and too much or too little or whatever. So that's when you go into the well, which means that you're dropping into a lower frequency, but each frequency is like a rung on the ladder. So if you get stuck at a certain frequency where you find that's where you go when something, maybe you're too tired, maybe someone attacks you, maybe something goes wrong, and that's where you dip to, that's where the healing is needed. So when you apply the higher frequency energy of this full moon, of your own intentions, of the angels, of the divine, which are, by the way, always at the higher frequencies, you start to heal that place, and it no longer becomes a rung on the ladder where you get stuck. It becomes something that maybe after a while you see it and you go, I'm not going there this time. I know what that feels like. I don't need to go there. Or you completely heal it and you recognize, I'm grateful for that rung on the ladder because it helped me to understand myself, it helped me to love myself, helped me to understand life, and maybe even the problems that you're having are related to something that you really need to get a more positive handle on. And so it teaches you something which then enables you to stay at those higher rungs of the ladder for longer, and so that you then start to attract everything that's at that higher rung. This place no longer becomes your default setting. You know, the work that I do is all about angels, energy, connecting to divine source, because when you go into the infinite intelligence of divine source, you get answers, you get healing, you get protection, you get the clear path forward, but also that energy starts to fill you up and recharge you from all the places where you felt drained, where you felt like you got a bit broken and a bit lost. That energy starts to top you up. And it starts to become your relationship. Your main relationship is with the divine. And you recognize that everything is about connection and isn't about you doing everything by yourself. So I wanted to talk about that today because I really think it's important that we get into a habit of consciously connecting with higher levels of frequency energy, which is, of course, source energy, God, the universe, the divine, your name for it, whatever your name is, which is the place where your angels come from. And when the angels come to you, and they're with you always, when you invite them to help you with something and they're there, you sense them, they're carrying that higher frequency energy for you. They're not meeting you in a low place to serve your ego. They're meeting you in the place of where you're already actualized in order to lift you out of the ego and where that can take you. So someone asked me recently, you know, if I've got angels and a person I'm having a conflict with has angels, who wins? You know, how do the angels decide who wins? And it's not about winning. It's because that would be serving the lower self, the small self, the self that is the ego, that's all about me, my identity, my connection is more important than everyone else's. And this is a dog-eat-dog race, a competition where I have to scramble to the top. It's the angels will never serve that part of us. And that's why they don't ever guide you to do anything that will harm you or another person on a soul spiritual level. So your angels will always serve you in a way that serves your higher self, which is the part of you that recognizes what is for the greater good here. And for your greater good is something that you will learn, you'll gain more wisdom from, you'll get more peace from, you'll get more peace of mind. And that is a win-win situation for everybody, not just for you. And of course, sometimes that win-win situation means you've got to walk away. Sometimes you're better off stepping away, either temporarily or full-time. Sometimes that's for the highest good of all concerned, because the conflict is actually low energy and it keeps pulling you down to those low rungs of the ladder. So that's what I wanted to say to you, is that angels are working with you for your highest good, which is also what your soul wants, also what the universe wants. What the universe wants for you is within you and is also in the minds of the angels that are helping you at this time. So afterwards, after I've pulled these cards, let's do a quick healing to get you aligned. Hi, James, Sharon and Ida, nice to see you here. And let's get ourselves tuned in and aligned with that higher energy, because when you're aligned with that higher energy, that's where your power is. That's where you can see, it's like you're above the clouds. You get that beautiful crystalline clarity. You can see where you're going and what it is that you want to be doing. Hi, Charlie. Hi, Lara, Tracy, Melissa. It was lovely to meet you too, Tracy, on Saturday. So on Saturday, I did a talk at a spiritual development group in Warhope, and there was a ton of beautiful women there, all and men, and there was this just gorgeous energy, really high frequency energy, and we did a meditation with the angels, and I did a talk, and it was fabulous. And I sold a lot of books too, more than I had with me. So it was wonderful, and I met beautiful soul Tracy too. So let's pull some cards for this week, and let's look at what the angels want us to focus on this week to help us stay on those higher rungs of the ladder, and to make sure that what we're magnifying with the full moon, because the full moon magnifies everything. So if you're feeling crazy, crazy will be magnified. If you're feeling negative, negative will be magnified. If you're feeling creative, that will be magnified. So you have to remember that you're in control of your vibration. You're in control of the thoughts and the feelings and the energies that you tap and tune into and align with. And if you're aligning with something that's a lower energy, you're not going to feel good. And that's how your body tells you that you're aligning with something negative. And you can make a different choice to tune into something else. And yes, that's hard work sometimes, to come up the rungs of the ladder. It's hard work, you know, when someone has pissed you off and you want to stay there grumbling, and then you realize, well, I don't really want to create any more of this. I've got to get off this rung of the ladder because I'm wasting my energy. You've got to work hard to get up the ladder. You've got to change what you're thinking about. You've got to do a little meditation, get outside in nature, do whatever it takes to get you realigned with what you know is your highest. Okay, good cards for us today. Okay, so we remember that one of the ways that we heal our wherever we are on the ladder, that one of the ways that we can deal with that energy is to start to clear our energy, because energy is everything. Everything turns into energy. So your thoughts, your fears, your emotions, when someone else is being negative towards you and that's influenced you, that shows up as energy. And if you can cut the cord, release it to heaven, give it to the angels, then that's going to make it easier to come up the rung of the ladder. So the first card out for you was the creativity card with Archangel Metatron. Oh no, it's not, it's Nathaniel. Metatron's the other card. So look at the light there. This is kind of like the energy is really kind of lifting you to a higher vibration. And now this is talking to me about solar plexus and second chakra, and really clearing out the cords that maybe are keeping you in conflict. So whenever we get into an argument with someone, or someone isn't doing what we want them to do or being how we want them to be, it gets caught up in the two chakras, one just at your diaphragm level, the other one at the navel, which is all about this kind of material world, ego, control, that kind of stuff. So a good way to clear your energy and get more into the higher realms is to just ask for the cords to be cut between you and these people, or even use your hands and with intention and asking the angels to help you to pull those energies out, because sometimes you can actually feel like you've been punched in your solar plexus, or it feels tight like a big knot, and you can work to remove that, asking the angels to work through your hands and to transmute that energy to the light. So creativity is a great way of aligning with the divine source, with the universe. Even if it's you're coloring in, or you're taking photos, or you're thinking up a story or a poem, whatever it is for you, doing some creativity is being suggested to you at the moment. Now, the angels are also showing me things like vision boards. Have you ever thought about drawing your vision? It doesn't have to be a masterpiece. It just could be like a cartoon or stick figures, but you actually putting out on paper, using your imagination, the things that you want to happen. So all the things I've been talking about today, about when we get stuck in those lower rungs of the ladder, emotionally, mentally, physically even, they're all things that are about the external, what's going on outside of ourselves and what's going on in our minds. But when we go into creativity, we stop thinking about what we don't want and we start thinking more about what we do want. And I think that's where a lot of us humans get really stuck, is we get stuck in the, why am I where I am? It's often the thoughts about where we are that are more distressing than actually where we are. So creativity is a good way to get out of that. It switches you out of that kind of niggling back brain, stressy mind, and helps you to transcend. I'm going to go to the Kuan Yin card next, which is from the Keepers of the Light deck by Kyle Gray. Now, the Kuan Yin card is about care and compassion. And there's, if you look up Greg Braden, he talks a lot about opening your heart chakra. And one of the things that I do regularly, which I learned from him, is that I sit with either my hands at my heart in prayer position or my hand over my heart chakra and my physical heart. And I start to tune into feelings like gratitude, empathy, compassion. And when you start to tune into those feelings, you activate your heart chakra. You can't feel fear and love at the same time. You can't feel hatred, resentment at the same time as you feel compassion, empathy, and gratitude. So anytime that you need to switch out of those emotions, which is really what today's reading is about, is switching out of the stuff you don't want to keep creating, you don't want to keep getting stuck into, no matter how righteous it might be that you feel that way, as in maybe someone did something really crappy for you. You don't want to stay stuck there, because you're the master of your own destiny. You are the one that's creating only for yourself. You're not doing anything about what those other people have done. So it's up to you to get higher up on the rung of the ladder. So choose to be love. Do what feels right for your highest self, for the highest good of all, and come from a place of care and compassion this week under this moon. And everything that you send out always comes back to you, right? So if you send out love and compassion, that's what's going to come back to you. Archangel Michael card. This one is saying shield yourself. So in order for us to be able to manage our minds, our emotions, and our energy, sometimes, or all the time, we have to be aware that energy protection, putting like a filter of light around you, calling on your angels, walking away from things that make you feel yuck, they're all forms of energy protection. Energy protection is a way for you to maintain your high vibration, keep you on that high rung of the ladder. And it's very easy to joke, and I even put a joke on my pages yesterday about toxic people, because it was a cute little meme that I saw. But we have to remember that if we constantly are talking about toxic people all the time, not only are we in a low vibrational rung of the ladder and we're in blame, we're also inviting someone to call us toxic. Do you know what I mean? So then I hear a lot of light workers say to me, oh, this thing happened to me and I want to heal it, but I don't want to talk about it because I don't want to burden anyone. Well, that's because we've spun this kind of energetic reality of like, well, to talk about your problems is to be toxic, which is wrong. We shouldn't think like that. To dwell there isn't good for you. So what we have to recognize is that when people are behaving in toxic ways, we have choices. We also have choices not to go into a place of resentment, fear, judgment in our own minds, but which will take us immediately to the low rung of the ladder. But we also have a choice to recognize that sometimes when people are behaving in toxic ways, that's their wounds that they're showing us. And wounds are what we all have. And if we start to sneer at people's wounds, then we are lowering our own energy, and we're not coming from that place of how may I serve? How can I be of the highest? If we make ourselves elitist and say I only hang with people who are a certain vibration, then we're sending a really strange message out into the universe. And that message may be reverberating into your finances, into your business, into your work, into other things that are going on in your life. So shielding your energy is a good way to not take on when people are releasing negative energy, when they're showing us their wounds. And sometimes, yes, it's a good idea to walk away. It is a good idea to walk away. You're not here to fix everyone. But we also then have to manage our own energy by sending love. Now, I saw the most gorgeous video on Instagram yesterday, and I don't usually tune into the internet on Sundays if I can help it, but I saw this video, and it was of this little girl, and she was in Africa. She was an Australian girl that was at an African school, and she was playing, you know, when they, I don't know what that's called, when they clap their hands together and doing this really complex thing like kids can do. And it was just the most lovely energy of playing and being together and not recognizing differences, which don't exist. They're all part of the ego separation. And so I think we've got this card today, which is Archangel Metatron, is to look at what children do. And children share, children play, children are mostly in their true selves and non-judgmental. It's only when they learn to be judgmental that they become that way. And also become more childlike in yourself. Now you see you've got the blue butterfly there, which is she's sitting there over her solar plexus and her lower chakras. So coming into that feeling of protecting your solar plexus, but doing it from a place of transformation and love, of going, you know, I don't have to be coming from this place of fear all the time. I don't have to be pushing people away from me. I can come from a place of sharing and compassion, and at the same time protect my energy to the place where I am holding my power, whatever that is for you, believing in yourself, being true to yourself, speaking your truth, being kind, holding your power and not letting other people push you off of your power. So that's the reading for this week. Hi, Melissa. Hi, Kathy, Angelina, Aaron, Kylie. Everyone's here. Melanie, hi, Lara, and Tracy, Alex. Lovely to see you. So let's do a quick tune-in alignment. I feel like I've been talking for a really long time, and I have. So let's do a quick alignment. This powerful full moon that we're in today, what is it that you want to create from this? What do you want to heal from this? What is it that you would like for the highest good for yourself, but also for the planet, for others, for other people in your life? Because remember, if you're only serving your small self, you are not aligned with the highest good. You're not aligned with the divine power. If you're chasing something from the ego, then it becomes something that is manipulative, that is controlling, that is really just ego-based, and you will always feel like you're doing this. Whereas if you start asking, serve, let me serve, use me, let the energy come through me for the highest good of all, then you really do invoke the angels and the universal support. So what is it that you're healing? What is it that you're creating? And hold that in your mind. And you can ask for something for yourself, but just keep in mind that it is for the highest good. There's no point scoring here, right? And then just come into your heart. Maybe put your hand near your heart, or you can use prayer position if you want. If you're somewhere in public, you can just visualize it. And take some deep breaths and imagine expanding the light in the center of your heart, the heart chakra. Take some breaths and know that as you do so, the angels are stepping in around you. So they're always there, but they're stepping into a place where they're making themselves known, they're making themselves visible. And I want you to imagine a light shining from your heart and expand it out past the contours of your body. So you're making this lovely ball of light radiating out from you. And then as you breathe, I want you to imagine releasing any heavy energies that are pulling you to those lower rungs of the ladder, whether it's sadness, stress, whatever it is. Just breathe them out and imagine that they are like long strings of heavy energy, almost like chains, and the angels are pulling those energies from you and they're taking them up and out, away from you, out of your energy. So it could be self-doubt, it could be other people's fears, it could be arguments and conflicts, it could be insecurity, lack and scarcity. So just breathe. And I'm getting a clear message about fear, and the angels are saying that fear isn't real, and that when you focus on fear, it feels real in your body. Your body starts to panic because it thinks what you're thinking about is real. But this is a good moment to let go of fear. You don't want to create it. And now just imagine this light in your heart creating a channel up into your throat, up through the center of your body to the top of your head. And then send that channel up further, and imagine it reaching out through the ceiling of wherever you are and then up into the sky. Don't worry if you're in a multi-story building. This is about energy and intention. So go up into the sky and imagine it breaking through the atmosphere and going into the cosmos. Imagine it, your channel of light from your heart is reaching up into the cosmos where there is nothing but peace. You are truly transcending all heaviness, all human thought, all the chatter and the clatter and the fear created by human consciousness. You're going to that higher place. And whilst we do know that God, the universe, the angels are here with us, within us, that when we reach up to that higher place, we're making a statement that we are rising above and we're tapping into the source, the creative source of all that is. And I always see that as an enormous lake of golden energy. So imagine that up there in the cosmos, in the silence, you tap into this huge infinite lake of energy. And the minute that you touch it, it begins to pour energy into your body, into your consciousness, into your mind, into your chakras, into your energy field, into your spirit. And all you have to do is breathe and let it in. And what this is doing is it's melting away anything that is not of the light within you and is connecting you with highest good and with the highest frequency of all. So as you receive that, just hold in your mind empathy, gratitude, love for all, connection to all. Because if you're connected to the divine universe, you're also connected to everybody else, because everyone else is connected to the divine universe, whether they know it or not. And then set your intention. What is it that you would like to create, that you are creating right now? And think about how what you want to create isn't just about you, how that serves a higher power, how it serves a higher good on the planet, for people, for animals, for the world in general. So maybe if you're asking for more love in your life, you recognize the more love that you have then generates out to your family, to your children, to your to everybody that you meet. If you're asking for more abundance, maybe in your career, or you're getting a job, or you're expanding your clients, then you recognize that what you do is serving a much higher purpose. So maybe it's healing, maybe it's helping, maybe it's just that you are a love and light, and you're going to be giving that love and light out to others when you connect with them. So think about that. And then ask Divine Spirit, the infinite presence of intelligence, ask to be used for the highest good of all through your gifts, talents, and skills, and ask that then also serve you in the highest way possible. And then without any doubt, what you want will come to you, because you are serving something higher. And what you send out will always be reflected. If you always give, you always have, right? And breathe and release. And take a big deep breath and let go of anything that says that is not possible, that your happiness is not allowed. Just let go of everything of that. And I send you love and blessings for the highest good of all for you. And enjoy today, this moment, and the next week or so. I'll see you next Monday. I do have a place on my Rich Radiant Angel program opening up this week. So if you would like to be that person that does one-on-one sessions with me, we do healing, we clear your energy, we bring your vibration to that high rung of the ladder so that you are a magnet for good. And we do lots of intensive personal work to really get you to that place where you want to be and heal the self-sabotage and the fear. Please get in touch with me. I will put my booking calendar on here so that you can book a discovery call with me about the program and we can chat about it, or you can just send me an email. I'll put all the links there. Love and blessings to you. Doesn't want to go.